All right, this is the Iceman about to begin my 11th video in the Ultima 7 playback. In our last video, we went and did the one and only significant mod quest that we've installed here on this game, the quest to get this key ring that we didn't have in the original vanilla version of the game. It was a long and involved quest that got us there, and it was a lot of fun. But now we've got a lot of money as a result of doing all the things we did on that quest. So at this point, we're going to come up here and spend some of that money by buying all the 5th through 8th level spells that our boy here has available that we haven't bought yet already. So I'm not sure which ones we have. We already have that one. I do know we have Great Hill. I don't know about invisibility. Okay, we got it. Or do we got it now? Firefield, newly purchased. All right. And I happen to know that we have absolutely no 6th level spells, so all 4 of these we should be able to buy. Oh, I didn't need 4th. Again, 6th. Flame Strike. Again, 6th. Sleepfield. Another spell, yep. 7th. Deathbolt. Got it. 7th again. Energy Field. Got it. Energy Mist. Got it. Mass Might. We might already have this one. We have it. Yep. Another spell. Yep. Let's go with the 8th. Death Vortex. Got it. Mass Death. Got it. And I'm pretty sure we have the last 2, but just to be on the safe side, we'll all already has it. Time stop. Already have it. Okay. So we had like something like 2,700 gold beforehand. We are down to 1,033. Much better in terms of that carryability. But here's the thing: with that last round of spell buying, we got every 1st level spell, missing just 1 second, 1/3, 1/4, 2/5, 4/6, 2/7, and 1/8. I mean, our the money spending we have to do remaining is very little. So it was well worth the purchase. We still have plenty of gold for what we are about to do. Get some really, really necessary training, especially with regards to strength for all of our characters minus the Avatar and Tresemid, at least to start here, because he doesn't have any training points yet. And that is, we have a lot of time till we have to join the fellowship tonight. Still available. We started this morning and did everything that we did in our last video, all in that small amount of time, even though we traveled plenty. But we are now going to come down here to Serpent's Hold. It is an area of the game that really doesn't get touched on in the main quest line, mostly because a good number of the characters there are well, if you've seen Star Trek: The Next Generation, you will immediately see the resemblance to the main characters. Kind of funny. So much for any resemblance to real life persons is coincidental. Not so. No, 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 no. All right. So we are here at Serpent's Hold. We're going to come down here, and we're just going to start off by talking to this gentleman here. This very serious man breaks into a half smile as he greets you. Name? I am Lord John Paul, Serpent's Hold. Thou art the Iceman, the Avatar, correct? Yes. Excellent. I have something that might interest thee. So I think he's supposed to be like John Luke Picard, But your job? I am charged with overseeing the hold. Serpent's Hold? It has changed little since thy last visit, Iceman. Of course, all of the people are new. Overseeing? It is not a difficult job. Sir Richter and Sir Horf ensure that things run smoothly as often as possible. Sir Richter, he is in charge of the hold when I am otherwise occupied. He has seemed somewhat changed of late, but I trust him nonetheless. Sir Horf, he is the captain of the guards. I would have no other for his position. He is the most honorable warrior I have ever met. Thank you, sir. Changed? It began when he joined the fellowship. He became more, what is the word, orderly. He smiles. I suppose there is a regimented structure within the fellowship that has done him good, no? Orderly? It is difficult to explain. He seems more disciplined. He gives a short laugh, which, of course, is rather fitting for the hold. Fellowship? I'm afraid I know little about them, but they seem to help many people. However, I have noticed Sir Horf has become rather apprehensive since Richter joined. People? I am afraid I must attend to other business shortly, and I cannot show thee around, but I can recommend that thou visit the Hollowed Dock. Many of the Hold's knights frequent there in the evening. I am interested. He smiles gratefully at you and begins pacing. Very recently, a terrible crime was committed. It seems the statue of Lord British, the one in the Hold Commons, was defaced by an unknown vandal. Perhaps he looks at you hopefully. Thou couldst track down the villain. Yes. Very good. The best way to begin is by speaking with Sir Denton, the tavern keeper at the Hollowed Dock. His ability to solve puzzles and problems is remarkable. When thou hast solved this mystery, please inform me of thy findings. Bye. Carry on, Iceman. Okay. So I'm going to approach these characters in a specific order to kind of match with that quest line. But this guy I'm going to reach to right away. This large, muscle-bound man smiles pleasantly at you. Name? I am Mendian, my lord. He shakes your hand. Job? I am a trainer. I help warriors become bigger and stronger and better fighters. I also forge swords to match the strength of my students' arms. Uh, forge? Dost thou wish to make a sword? No, no. Perhaps sometime when thou hast more time. Students? I have taught many a warrior how to use his or her force against an opponent. Force? Yes, my lord. The key to effective fighting is striking hard and accurately at one's foe. Accurately? Needless to say, some targets on an individual are better than others. It is always best to hit something that will either seriously incapacitate one's foe or create enough pain to distract him. Hard? Physical strength permits the attacker a better chance of penetrating the other fighter's armor. Obviously, in a lethal combat, that is an important objective. Okay, so now we are going to do a bunch of training because this guy gives each character you train with 2 strength and 1 combat, which our guys sorely lack. So let's go ahead and do this for as much as we possibly can. So Aolo has, I think, 1 training to go. Actually, he may have 2. Let's just check. Nope, he does not. So Said Spark has some multiple levels, though. I'm pretty sure he's got 3. Yep. Train 1 level for Sentry. For Jana. For Shamino. For Prey. I think Dupre has the second one. So let's look at our characters now. 22 strength, 24 combat, much better. Look at that carrying weight, much better. 42 for Spark, 21, 29. So we're only really going to be able to do one more at this guy. We're going to have to probably do some intelligence training because he'll run out at some point of combat and won't be able to put any more into it. And if you've reached the limit with something, you can't train with a guy who gives you 2 combat and one combat if you're already max combat. It won't give you just the strength. You have to find somebody who has things that they can train you that you can do all the way. So, bit of a pain. But there's somebody in Britain who we can train him with after we've gotten to his last level of training him with this guy. But 21 and 23, up to 42 weight. 34 weight for her, which is nice. Up to 42 weight for her. You can see his numbers going up. His numbers were already pretty high, but now they're even higher. Perfecto, as it goes. So that was wonderful. So at this point, I want to pull aside my baggie here. And this is going to be my Serpent hold green down here. And I will mark it because whenever we want to get our character's additional strength, will just come right back here. Okay, let's go ahead. Why am I not able to move? Okay, go ahead. Get on into the keep and talk with the barkeeper here, as we were told. Greetings to thee, Suitor Prey. Art thou back again for thy study of wines for Bromer? Why, yes, my good friend Denton. I still conducting that study. He turns to you and shrugs, grinning sheepishly. The man before you seems to stare at you blankly. Name? I am Sir Denton, my lord. Job? I am the tavern keeper, my lord. I sell refreshments to the citizens of Britannia, most notably the knights in Serpent's Hold. Help? Yes, my lord. I can help thee investigate the crime. I believe the best way to begin would be by speaking with Sir Richter. Since he is the one who searched the statue after the incident. Serpent's Hold? Serpent's Hold is located at precisely 53 degrees east and 165 degrees south. Knights? Almost every resident here is a noble warrior. The exceptions would be Lady Jehane, the provisioner, Lady Tori, Lady Lee, the healer, and Menyon, the trainer. I can also tell thee about all the other residents. Lady Jehane? She is the lady of Sir Pendren. She has been helping me better my sense of humor. Lady Tori, I believe she is a druid. She was showing me how to be more compassionate than I was before. She is very good at knowing what others are feeling and why they are experiencing such emotions. Lady Lee, her healing skills are said to be unparalleled. Menyon, he is the fighting instructor. In his spare time, he likes to make swords. Menyon has been kind enough to give me one of his creations. Residents? Yes, my lord, I can tell thee about the following people. Lord John Paul, He is the Lord of Serpent's Hold. He is a capable leader and a fair man. Sir Richter. He is the second in command to Lord John Paul. He is teaching me how to gamble. Well, in fact, he began increasing the lessons after joining the fellowship. Sir Horf? Sir Horf is an excellent warrior. He is a gargoyle that was found by two knights when he was very young. They chose to raise me as their own child. He is very honorable. Sir Jordan. Despite his blindness, Sir Jordan perceives objects around him very well. He is an excellent tinkerer and can repair many items. Sir Penderon. Sir Penderon is a knight of the hold. He is very friendly, but I have been told he can be overbearing at times. The Fellowship is a 20-year-old organization that holds many festivals, parades, and celebrations. In addition, they maintain a shelter in the town of Pause. They have an underlying philosophy called the Triad of Inner Strength. The Triad is broken into three principles known as the Strive for Unity, Trust Thy Brother, and Worthiness Precedes Reward. I will now explain the meaning of each principle. This Denton fellow is really long-winded. Strive for Unity seems to mean that the Fellowship wants others to work together for the weal of society. Trust Thy Brother implies that each person should not question the actions of others. Worthiness Precedes Reward indicates that the Fellowship's attitude towards reward is that one must do well to be rewarded. No one. Humor? My jokes are very bad. If thou wouldst like, I could tell thee one. Yes. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side. Oh, that joke is new. He says sarcastically. Yellow whispers in your ear. Iceman, we have heard that one before. It is best we leave him before he indulges in another joke. To get to the other side. Oh, thou hast heard it before. Bye. Good day, my lord. Okay, so let's go talk to Sir Richter. So that guy was supposed to be like Data. The first guy was like Jean-Luc Picard. This guy's supposed to be like Riker, huh? You see a dashing young man who turns to greet you. I am Richter, the Knight of the Hold. Who wouldst thou be? I am the Avatar. I see, he eyes you suspiciously. Thou art back for more, then. Thou'll not trick me again, I warn thee. Name? As I have told thee, I am called Richter. Job? I am the armorer of the hold. Fellowship. The Fellowship is the philosophical group devoted to the teachings of a truly great man named Batlin, in the absence of the Avatar. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. More? He clears his throat and examines you more closely. Thou shouldst not mind my mumblings, Lord. Statue? A look of disgust appears on his face. Obviously, someone who doth not seek unity did this. He is not worthy of reward. After a moment, he calms down. Art thou investigating this crime against mankind? Yes. Then let me give thee these. He holds up some stone chips. They were found at the base of the statue. Thou wilt notice that they are stained red in some places. I believe it to be blood. Hold philosophy? You immediately regret asking this as they embark on the same creepily well-rehearsed speech you've heard before. Your eyes glaze over as your thoughts wander until with relief you hear them finish. Dost thou wish to join? No. Oh well, perhaps thou canst become enlightened another time. Hold? Yes, thou art in Serpent's Hold, home to many noble and valiant knights. I mind. Looking down, he shifts his weight from one foot to another. Glancing back up, his eyes narrowed, he says, Not long ago, a man entered mine armory who claimed he'd be the Avatar, just as thou claimed. When I turned to reach for a weapon, he had requested he purloined several items and ran away. I assume, he said carefully, thou art not that rogue. Knights? Lord John Paul is charged with overseeing the hold, though Sir Horf is actually the captain of the guard. There are served here Lord British in the needs of Britannia. Sorry, I hit my click too early. John Paul? I trust his ability as I trust no other. I cannot tell thee how proud I was when he chose me to be his second in command. Horf? He appears thoughtful. I know the others trust him, and I myself do not doubt his fighting skills. But I cannot escape this feeling that he needs more moral discipline. I feel obligated to watch him at times. Needs? Well, obviously there is many a vile beast looking to terrorize the countryside on the mainland. It is our duty to protect the common man. In addition, we are here to provide examples of proper behavior to the general populace. Others? Oh, it is obvious that Jean Paul respects his ability. Lord Tory has told me that she can sense his honesty, but I am not without skepticism. Watch? I am not certain what it is that I am watching for. However, I expect him to fall into ways either aggressive or thievery. He simply does not seem to truly believe in the unity of the whole. Tory? He is a hold advisor, often giving guidance to the knights. His expression becomes wistful. He is also quite beautiful. Sense? Lord Tory has the uncanny ability to empathize with others. She can determine another's intentions and emotions by doing nothing more than passing a simple greeting. Bye. Pleasant journeys. Remember, trust thy brother. Okay, so let's talk to her next. This attractive woman gives you an approving look. Name? He blushes. I am Lady Lay. Job? I am the healer of Serpent's Hold. Serpent's Hold? Lord John Paul is in charge of keeping the order here, but Sir Denton would be an even better source of information about Serpent's Hold. John Paul? He is an easy man to find, for Sir Horf hardly ever leaves his side. Watch for the tall, muscular gargoyle. If thou hast business about town and are about to locate John Paul, thou mightest wish to speak with Sir Richter. Richter? He is an armorer. His shop is in the back of the hold. Horf? He was found at a very young age, apparently abandoned by his father. Two people took him and raised him as their own. And while thou couldst say simply by meeting him, he is a very noble person and stout warrior. Denton? He is a tavern keeper at the Hollow Dock, just inside the whole stores. He is wonderful at remembering and discussing important facts. Examine chips. She takes the stone chips from you and examines them. Using several vials of strange and unusual mixtures, she analyzes the blood. Finally, after a few silent minutes, she looks up grinning. I have determined the nature of the blood. It is definitely not human. In fact, she looks down at the sample and raises an eyebrow. It is gargoyle blood. Gargoyle blood? She appears thoughtful. What is odd, my lord, is that there is only one gargoyle in Serpent's Hold. But I cannot imagine Sir Herf would have anything to do with anything like wanton destruction. Bye. Farewell, my lord. Hmm. So, sure. Is he out here and about here? Or where'd he go? Oh, there they are. You see a gargoyle with a very stern expression on his face. Name? To be known. To be called Horf. Job? To be the captain of the guard, to serve and to protect the people of Serpent's Hold. Statue? To know nothing about that. Captain? To have been commanded to protect the people who live at Serpent's Hold and to maintain the general order of knights. Serpent's Hold? To direct you to Sir Denton, tavern keeper at the Hollow Dock, to know more about the hold and the people than I. Knights? To inform you that many fine warriors take up residence between the hold's walls, who have little fear of an attack from bandits or vicious animals. Blood on fragments? His rough demeanor softens. To be my blood, he sighs, but to not be the one who defaced the statue, to have been wounded while trying to stop the vandal. Vandal? He looks down at his feet. To not know who it was. To have been very dark, to ask you not to tell Sir Richter. Sir Richter? To know he will not believe me, one who openly defies the fellowship. Fellowship? They know little about it, to like little about it. Dark? To have been very poor visibly, but to be positive I was scuffling with an armed knight. Bye. to say goodbye. Okay. Now, I think there are a couple of ways to get a key that opens the back door. There's an easy one and a hard one. I'm going to do the easy one. If we come here, and we just throw these clothes in this drawer, or in this drawer, we'll find a key. We add it to our keychain. We come up here, we hit the key button, and thus we have access to all these lovely weapons. I'm only going to grab 3 of them that we don't have yet. I'm going to grab this Juggernaut hammer, this Mage Bane sword, and this magic sword. Well, I might as well grab the great dagger as well. I didn't grab that before when I saw it. Okay. I'm going to come and talk to this woman here. She's not only going to help continue this quest, I think she has another one for us. The woman smiles at you compassionately. Name? I am Lady Tori, my lord. Mother of Ricky, she says, sobbing. Job? My job is to provide counsel for Lord John Paul and anyone else in need of guidance here at the Hold. Statue? She appears thoughtful. When the incident was brought up to everyone here at the Hold, I remember Sir Jordan becoming a bit nervous. Perhaps thou should speak with him. Ricky? My poor baby boy. He was taken one night by cruel harpies who wanted a child for their own. I know not where they have taken him. But I have heard some of the knights mention that a group of the vile women beasts cluster around the Shrine of Honor, but they have not been able to defeat them, she sniffs. But thou, my lord, thou wilt help me get my child back. Oh, please, wilt thou? Yes, I will. I cannot thank thee enough for helping me. She appears to have cheered up greatly. Lord John Paul? He is an extraordinary leader. Everyone looks up to him. Thou hast only asked his captain. Hold? I sense that thou wishes to know about the residents of the Hold. Is this correct? Yes. As counselor for the Hold, I can tell thee about many people. Hast thou met the healer or the provisioner? And as a warrior thyself, thou mayest wish to visit the trainer and the armorer. Captain? The captain of the guard, Sir Hoff, is a gargoyle. He was found by 2 humans who raised him to be a valiant knight. He is a very dedicated warrior. And rarely leaves John Paul's side. Healer? Lady Lee is a very skilled healer, and I have yet to see her use a patient. Armorer? Well, Sir Victor has changed much recently ever since he joined the Fellowship. He seems a little less compassionate. Trainer? I know Menyon least of all. He is very quiet, spending most of his spare time witnessing. The tavern keeper may know more about him. Provisioner? Her name is Lady Jehane. He is the lady of Sir Pandaren, he says with a gleam in her eye. Garish accent? Despite his human upbringing, Horf has struggled to maintain his Garish identity. By speaking in the same manner as his brethren, he feels he can better hold on to his background. Fellowship? The Fellowship does not have a branch here, but 2 of our knights are members, Sir Richter and Sir Pandaren. I know they are interested in having Sir Jordan join as well. Tavern keeper, Sir Denton is the most astute man I have ever met. He is the only one I cannot sense, and I have never seen him remove his armor, she shrugs. Sir Pandaren, he is a brave and hearty fighter, and, she smiles, he is also a bit on the attractive side. Sir Jordan, he is a wonder. Despite his blindness, he fights with amazing deftness. In fact, he enjoys toying with mechanical items. And his loss of eyesight does not seem to have affected that either. However, I sense in him a very recent change, remarkably like that in Sir Richter. He would be an interesting one to speak with. Thou mayest find him at Iolo South. Iolo smiles proudly. My shop has grown a bit since thou wert here last, Iceman. Bye. I sense thou hast pressing engagements elsewhere. I bid thee farewell. All right. So now we need to come speak with Jordan. It's obvious who he's supposed to be. You see a man who, despite being blind, quickly acknowledges you. I am Jordan, Sir Jordan, and thou art the Avatar. He laughs. Yes, but of course thou art. 'Tis true, Sir Jordan. He is the Avatar. Jordan smiles. I see. And thou wouldst be sure what, Shimino? No, he points to Shimino. He's Shimino. I am Iolo. Of course, he says patronizingly. How could I not recognize the great Iolo? Statue? He looks defensive. I had nothing to do with that. But I will tell thee that on the night of the incident, I heard the sound of scuffling in the commons, and later on in the evening, I heard a woman cry out, as if in surprise. Woman? I am not positive, Avatar, but I believe the voice was that of Lady Jehane. He nods his head knowingly. Someone has lost their sense of unity. Name? As I told thee, I am Sir Jordan. Job? I sell bows and crossbows here at Iolo South. Iolo South? The original branch is in Britain, but I do find business here in the hold. Original branch? And as a great archer himself, Iolo started that branch more than 200 years ago. I thank thee for the compliment. 'Twould mean thou wert thou, Iolo? Listen here, rogue. I truly am. Yes, yes, I know thou really art Iolo, and I am Lord British. Hold? Serpent's hold, my lord. I have sold many quantity bows to the knights here. Knights? There are many who live within the walls of the hold, Sir Denton. The bartender and the hollow dock knows them all. Bye. I hope to see thee again, Avatar. Okay, so now we must need to speak with the lady over here. Our provisioner. The woman who greets you with a curtsy. Name? I am the Lady Jehane, my lord. Job? I am the provisioner of Serpent's Hold. And she adds, I also have the ship for sale that should thou be interested. Commons? For an instant you see an indecisiveness in her expression, as she suddenly gives in, her words coming out of a torrent of information. I am afraid to speak, but knowing thou wouldst see me through any facade, I can no longer silence the truth, my lord. Sir Penderon has not been the same gentle soul since he joined the fellowship. It was not long ago that my Penderon was a noble knight, one of a lady could be proud of, but now she shakes her head. In protest of a wrong he perceives in Britannia's government, he has defaced the statue of our beloved Lord British. She begins to sob. And he has battled and wounded a fellow knight and chanced upon him during his hour of misdeed. He came to me, she tries to choke out her tears, with another's blood on his sword. After a few moments of your comforting, she regains her composure. Please do not be too harsh with him, she begs. Serpent's Hold. Most of us here are knights, noble warriors, sworn to protect Britannia and Lord British. Mine own lord, she says with pride, is such a knight, Sir Penderon. Provisions. Thou wishes to buy something? No. Well, perhaps next time, my lord. Sir Penderon? We met 3 years ago. He's quite brave and strong. I just love to watch him fight, she smiles. I'm not really sure he will mix well with the rest of the fellowship, though. Knights? With but a few exceptions, myself included, all of the warriors here in the hold are knights. Thou mayest wish to speak to Lord John Paul. He is in charge of Serpent's Hold and might be better able to show thee around. Another? I know not who, my lord, and Sir Penderon would not say. Fight? He and Menyon used to spar together. After their exercises, 'twas a beautiful sight, my lord, she says, blushing. Fellowship? It's nothing, really. He was just a little bit more individualistic before he joined. I do not think there's anything wrong with the Fellowship, necessarily, but I did not expect to see something that would capture Penderon's interest. Used to. At the time, Penderon was the only man who could keep up with Menyon. Now that Menyon has begun instructing others, he no longer has the time to practice with my lord. Bye. May fortune follow thee, my lord. Okay. Well, we have a dog. Okay, I believe the last character we need to talk to is somewhere out here. Just not sure where. Another dog. I'm going to save my game here. So that if I end up searching over long, I can use edit to bring it back together. Okay, I'm going to start searching. Over here. Hmm. I didn't think he left this area just yet. I did see him wandering around somewhere over here. Could he be inside? Doesn't look to be. Okay, let's look inside the hole. He looks just like this guy. Hmm. Pair of magic boots. What time is it now? 5:02. Okay, let's try in here. Then there's regular boots. Another pair of swamp boots. Yeah, they were good on boots. The guy I'm looking for just looks just like the bartender here as far as the appearance on the screen goes. Is there an upstairs? He could be. Oh wait, is that him or is it the same guy? Aha! It's the one we're looking for. You are greeted with a stern look on this man's face. Name? Thou mayest call me Serpent. Job? I am a knight here in Serpent's Hold. 'Tis my job to help protect the citizens of Britannia. Protect? Aye, my lord, Britannia can be a dangerous place outside town boundaries, especially now that the ruling factions have gone soft. Serpent's Hold? I live here in the hold with my lady. Ruling faction? Well, I meant Lord British and his advisors. Soft? Though I'd follow the land's ideals to the end of the land, I find it difficult to accept how poor the conditions are in Britannia. Brigands populate the land. Disease overruns the towns, and corruption fills the councils. Were it not for the fellowship, I would be hard-pressed to avoid falling on my own blade, despite how dishonorable that act might seem. Fellowship? A noble group of people who strive to install greater sense of spiritual knowledge throughout all of Britannia. It will be a matter of time, my lord, before all people will see the wisdom. Lady? Her name is Jahan, my lord. He says suspiciously. He is the provisioner. Statue? Terrible shame, my lord. He eyes you coldly. Thou dost do it. What? Thou art accusing me? Preposterous! I had nothing to do with it. Lady Jahan, he shakes his head. Thou wouldst take the word of a woman over a knight of the hold? Thou art lower than a worm. He glares at you for a moment, and then his expression changes. All right, he says. I'm the one who defaced the statue, but only because the government has become so worthless and soft. He quickly turns away from you, ashamed. If thou dost think it best, he sighs, tomorrow I shall beg forgiveness from my fellow knights. 'Tis best, nodding his agreement. He sighs and turns away. Okay, so we've handled that particular quest. All we need to do is report it in. Good day to thee, says Lord John Paul. Sir Penderan responsible. He appears puzzled. I see. And thou didst reach this conclusion how? Lady Jahan. He smiles and extends his hand. Excellent job, Iceman. I cannot adequately express my gratitude. I will see that Penderan is properly reprimanded. I thank thee, Iceman. Bye. Carry on, Iceman. All right. So now we have one last thing to do here. And we're taking along a John Paul with us. So what we're trying to do is to get to the Shrine of Honor, which is sort of like around here. It's not too far. There it is. Okay. Let's make sure Iolo has the baby. There's the baby. All right. Let's take John Paul back home. All right. We head up here. We should be able to make a mother very happy. Hello, Iceman. I sense that thou art troubled. Ricky, hast thou found my child? Yes. I cannot begin to express my gratitude, my lord. Thank thee ever so much. She begins sobbing for joy. Please, set him back gently in the cradle. Bye. Bye-bye. Not going to bother rereading it again. And okay. So now we open Iola's bag. Use baby on crib, and we're good. And if I'm not much mistaken, hopefully we've got 3 training points for Emma that can get him some strength training as well. He'll probably want to get some dex training at some point, but at least a little bit of strength training is not going to help right now. And then Dr. Summit has some decent strength combat experience. Good to go. And we can make our way back to Britain and look, let's see what time it is. Still in plenty of time for our fellowship indoctrination. I cannot get this guy to get off my carpet. Well, anyway, we're taking him with us. We're taking them both with us. Oh, thank you for flying Royal Carpet. We are happy to take you from Serpent's Hole to Britain in our one-stop shop. Whereabouts are we? Not too far. Thank you for flying with Royal Carpet Airlines. Bye-bye now. Okay. So at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and sleep for several hours. I mean, I've done enough that I'm good with wasting away some of the day here trying to get ready for the fellowship meeting. Let's go ahead and sleep for 4 hours.
Yes, my friend, rest and heal, so that you are strong and able to face the perils before you. Pleasant dreams.
Okay. So, let's go ahead and make sure everybody's fed up, because they're about to get fed up with me as I join the fellowship. I mean, these guys should only know I'm joining for fake. To learn about them, but they can't see that all the time. Okay, I'm not seeing a couple of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Where's Jet? There they are. Seven, 8. Okay, all fully dressed. All fully dressed, all fully fed, all ready to go. Let's come here, save our game. All right, so let's go ahead on in here and get started with this punishment. The ceremony begins as Batlin stands before the gathered members of the fellowship. In Britain, he begins his sermon. My friends, I originally created the fellowship to help ready Britannia and its people for the future. Today, one of the greatest symbols of its past has come here to join our fellowship. This is a great day. For as our past and present intertwine, we shall send a message which shall be heard throughout Britannia. Soon, all of its peoples will strive together for unity. The gathering breaks into loud cheers. When they hear that the Avatar has become a member of the Fellowship, those who were at first distrustful of us will come to see the truth of what we stand for. Then we may bring about a day when all of Britannia is worthy of ample rewards it shall receive. Iola whispers to you, Art thou quite certain, Iceman, that thou dost wish to join with these people? Yes, again, I don't know how they don't realize you're just doing this because you need to go along with it, but I am not certain if thou art brave or simply foolish. Now is the time when our members give their testimonials of how they have been applying the triad of inner strength to their lives. Who shall be first? The fellowship has taught me to live with the shortcomings of others, says Gay. I had lost all enthusiasm for life before I joined the fellowship, says Candace. Thank thee for sharing, Candace. The fellowship helps me to be more honest with people, says Patterson, the liar. The fellowship has taught me not to let others push me around, says Fig. Instead, he does it to others. The triad of inner strength has helped me to improve my skills and build better weapons, says Grayson. The fellowship has put me back on the path to prosperity, says Gordon. Yes, thank you for sharing, brother. The fellowship has taught me not to be afraid of success, says Sean. The fellowship has given me a life full of a whole new purpose. Just today, I have recruited 2 more potential members, says Millie. The Fellowship is talking about the evils of lust. You notice Iolo is whispering to Shamino. I do not I do not think that Iceman doth realize the significance of the situation. My lord cannot be dissuaded. Perhaps thou shouldst give it a try? All right, I shall give it a try, he says. Perhaps we should get out of here, my lord. Better one of us does something they may later regret. Let us leave these premises, all right? No. Then I guess it is too late for thee. I already regret coming here. Now is the time to welcome the newest member of the Fellowship to sit at our table. Batlin beckons you to join him at the podium. He pours a glass of wine into a crystal goblet and takes a sip. The goblet is passed around the hall, each member respectfully taking a sip. Finally, the goblet is handed to you. You look at it thoughtfully as you feel all eyes in the room upon you. You hear Shamino desperately whispering to Dupre as they stand behind you. Dupre, we are having no success in showing the Avatar the mistake he is surely making. Thou art our last hope. You feel a tapping on your shoulder, and you turn to see Dupre as he whispers in your ear. I know a much better place to get a drink than this one. Perhaps thou wouldst like to join thy comrades there. No. Then I hope this game amuses thee, for it makes thy comrades sorely worried. Now there remains but one more test of loyalty to the Fellowship. I presume thou hast read the Book of the Fellowship by now. I must ask you 2 questions. The answers may be found within the book. Batlin smiles modestly. I am the author, didst thou know? Well, never mind, here we go. According to the Traveler's Companion, how many parts of the body should one wish to protect with armor? The answer to this question is 6. Now, this is another one of those copyright protection question kind of things that they built into their game. You had to answer similar questions using their cloth map at the beginning of the game. I will give you the other answers here shortly, depending. You're just going to get 2 of questions, but here. According to the Book of Archaic Knowledge, how many places may the Mandrake rune naturally be found? And I believe that the answer to this question is 2. There is also the same question for Black Pearls. That would be 1. What page the Anzu spell is found on? That is 42. How many runes in the Britannian language? 31. How many times Ginsig must be reboiled? 40. And then there is also the question in the Book of the Fellowship, how many bandits can be seen surrounding the old man in the illustration on page 3. Just like the armor question, the answer to that one is 6. So again, this one is 2. Excellent, Avatar. Fighting a tremble of hesitation, you take a long, deep drink from the gauntlet. Batlin steps up to you. May the news spread far and wide that our newest member is none other than the Avatar. The other Fellowship members cheer with pleasure. Allow me to present thee with thy Fellowship medallion. Batlin gives you the medallion. Please, wear the medallion at all times, for it shall be a symbol to all who see it that thou dost walk with the Fellowship. Ready it to thy neck immediately. Oh, and welcome to the Fellowship, Avatar. Well, there's that. A necessary step for some things to occur later on in the game, but it does seem rather contrary to the Avatar's will, in that their philosophy seems to be rather backloaded, if you ask me. Backhanded would be a better word, maybe. So the great thing is we never have to wear that medallion. It can go in here with the rest of the junk. And the thing is it can come in handy when you go to one of the towers later on in the game. I mean, sorry, the Buccaneer's Den. if you like to gamble for money, it's people who have their medallions on do better than people who don't. Oh, gotta love it. All right. I don't think we really need to keep the chips. No kind of look in place there. No one will even notice them. Okay, and I think we have somebody carrying some extra weapons for us here. And I actually think I want to try. I know it looks a little ridiculous, but giving him that big old power hammer to throw. Okay, and what were we doing? We were originally putting weapons to here. Yeah, I think we have a nice stockpile of weapons to choose from. All right. That's that. Now, what do we need to do? It's about time we make our way to not New Magenta, sorry. Time for us to follow Elizabeth and Abraham again on their trail. And this time they went to Moonglow, which is all the way over here. So we've got ourselves a bit of a trek. Makes me think we could probably be better served going this way. Okay, I believe we are here. I'm going to find a different spot to land. All right, it's time to start exploring Moonglow. So let's come here. And let's go on in. Guessing a fellowship building. Glaring, she puts a finger over her lips, indicating that you should be silent. So it looks like no one's going to talk to us if they're here. But the man is too busy to speak with you now, for he is conducting a fellowship meeting. Fellow members, each of us has faced, and doubtless shall face again, a moment of which thou dost feel the heat of fever. A moment when the mind has been clouded with illusory thoughts and visions. A moment when thy recognition has simply vanished. without rhyme or reason. A moment when perhaps thou hast even doubted the very words of the fellowship itself. You see the clerk gasp, her eyes widening in disbelief. The second principle of the triad is to trust thy brother. This is simple practice when thou dost know thy brother. But the fellowship was not always known to thee. It may, at one time, have been difficult to put thy trust in something as large as the fellowship. However, to gain full knowledge of thine inner strength, one must have the courage to walk on the fire of trust.
It's true. Trust was the key to my freedom.
Trust requires great courage, and that courage exists within thyself. Yola leans toward you.
I believe we have heard enough of this, no?
Yes.
Good. Let us leave.
Okay, so it doesn't look like we're going to get very far here at night. Neither here with the fellowship nor probably anywhere else. So let's just go ahead and find a place to lay out our bedroll. And so if we do 10 hours, it'll be 7:48. All right. So since we're here by our trusty cart, we might as well get our cart and go to our cart for our breakfast today. I'm eating lots of carrots. Okay. Make sure everybody eats their full. Okay, I don't think anybody will be able to eat anymore. Okay. So let's go ahead and close that up. Make a temporary save here. And let's try the fellowship building again. No one here yet? Oh, wait. You see a woman with a very serious look about her. Name? It gives you a suspicious look.
My name is Belenia.
Job?
I am the clerk for the Moonglow branch of the Fellowship.
Fellowship?
The Fellowship is a society of the spiritual seekers who strive to reach the highest levels of human potential. We espouse neo-realism through the triad of inner strength. In addition, we manage to organize many festivals and also operate a shelter for the needy. Rankin is the branch head here in Moonglow. He can answer thy questions.
Clerk?
It is my job to keep records during the meetings and to administer the decisions of this branch.
Moonglow?
This seemed to be an appropriate place to start up a branch. There are many good citizens here in Moonglow.
Triad?
The triad is basically three principles that, when applied in unison, enable the individual to better reach creativity, satisfaction, and success in life.
Meetings?
We have our meetings at 9 at night, the customary time after Ranklin's lecture. We all discuss the wonderful aspects of our life that have been enhanced by the fellowship.
Good.
She appears surprised at the statement. Well, I believe that many of the people are of strong-minded character. They are just the kind of people the fellowship needs to go out and spread the guidance and prosperity throughout Britannia.
Citizens?
I am so busy with my duties that I know very few people here. Piercy, the bartender, is an outstanding member of the community, as is a farmer. Tolmac's friend Mortz, though, is shy and well spoken of, and Mortz has a brother. He glances up thoughtfully. Or is it Tolmec's brother? I am not positive whose brother he is, but I do know that I do not know all that much about him, she sniffs. Principles? The three principles are strive for unity, trust thy brother and sister, and worthiness precedes reward. Rankin, he is our branch head here in Moonglow. She glances around cautiously. Thou art traveling through the city, correct? And eventually thou art going to visit another city in Britain, perhaps? He shoots another glance, apparently checking for something. Finally, she leans forward, speaking with a whisper. I am unsure whether Rankin is worthy of the position. I heard him talking to their new member, Ptolemach, just before Rankin persuaded him to join. He admitted to having doubts about the fellowship. He told Ptolemach that he thought, perhaps, the fellowship encouraged its members to be nothing more than sheep, and that they really in charge were charlatans, in it simply for the money. What does Al think about that? She leans back. Guidance. Many of the people lack the discipline required to reach their highest potential. Prosperity. The fellowship is designed to enrich the lives of everyone who resides in this fair land. Strive. Essentially, this means that cooperation among its people is not only a desirable means for reaching human potential in itself, but also facilitates the entire process. Trust. This tenet illustrates that as people we are all the same, and that neither hatred nor fear of one another is productive. It is, in fact, destructive. Worthiness. This basically means that individuals should strive to be worthy of that which they want in life. It is often misquoted as thou dost receive that which is deserved, but that tends to be a negative connotation. By Iceman, remember what I have told thee. Interesting. Okay. Well, it doesn't look like the head of the place is here yet. We have to talk to him about Elizabeth and Abraham, I'm sure. Shopkeeper. Let's see if we can do this. Awaken! It worked for a second. Try it again. As you approach, the woman raises her eyebrows to indicate she is aware of your presence and interest in what you are about to say. Name? I am Carolyn, she says, mouth broadly. Job? I am the tailor of Moonglow. Tailor? Yes, my lord, 'tis my job and my passion. I love sewing clothing. If thou were to come to my shop when it was open, I could show thee many exquisite things. Moonglow? Very pleasant town, my lord. There are so many different types of people here. I wish I knew more of them. If thou hast any questions about them, I highly recommend to thee that thou speaketh with Fiercy. Fiercy? He is the owner of the bartender. Every night at 9 he goes to the fellowship meeting, so I serve refreshment for him at the Friendly Knave. Fellowship? I know little about the group. Every night at 9 they have a meeting or some such of all the members. And if I remember correctly, the leader of that branch doth give a speech. A sermon is what I believe it is called. There is another member in town if thou hast questions about the fellowship. Another? I believe his name is Tolmac. He is a farmer, from what I have heard. Piercy would know more than I. Oh, or could thou ask the clerk? Leader? I believe his name is Rankin. I do not believe he has been here terribly long. Clerk? There's a woman. I know that, but I do not know her name. Goodbye. Fare thee well, my lord. Okay. Okie doke. We have a cat wanting to go in the house, and we let the cat in the house. And who do we have here? You see a young woman with an intellectual bearing. Name? I am Gillian, my lord. Job? I am a scholar, my lord. I also tutor and train those who seek knowledge here in Moonglow. Moonglow. The town occupies almost the entire island at the same time. The island is located due southeast and a few degrees south of the city of Britain. Tutor, my price is 35 gold for each training session. Are they willing to pay that? No. Then I really should return to my studies. Bye. Fare thee well, Iceman, she says, returning to her previous activity. Eh. You see a man with a sour expression on his face holding a baby boy. As he sees you, his face brightens. Name? I am Efford, my lord. I am but a simple resident of Moonglow. What is thy name? I am the Avatar. Ah, the Avatar, thou sayest. Whatever thou thinkest, he turns to the baby. This poor person here wants to be the Avatar. Too bad there's only one Avatar, eh, Mikhail? Mikhail? Yes, that is the name of my son. 'Tis a good name, yes? Moonglow? Well, what about Moonglow? He shrugs. 'Tis a fair town, but a little too crowded these days. I hear it was a much nicer place back when Moonglow was separate from the Lyceum. Much smaller. This place is too large to really get to know anyone. Not that I have had any much of an opportunity, having to stay at home and take care of my son. He looks down at the boy, smiles, and tickles the baby's nose. Wife? My wife, Jillian? She's the scholar. She is a very good one, too. Not that I could have done well, but I could have. Better, in fact. But it is not worth arguing about now. She has her occupation, even if I do not. I should have a job, though. Dost thou not agree, my lord? This is not what a man ought to be doing, staying at home raising kids. 'Tis a disgrace. He begins to stroke the infant's small tuft of hair. Now, Ephraim, thou knowest perfectly well that we agreed when little Mikhail was born thou shouldst be ashamed. Thou should not be ashamed talking such nonsense. He raises his shoulders, making him appear quite sheepish. Job? Me? I do not have a job. Not a real one. My wife has. All I do all day is watch over the little Mikhail here. He turns to look at the baby. Yes, I take care of thee, do I not? Yeah, yes, I do. I do. He kisses the boy and then looks back up at you embarrassed. Where was I? Oh, yes. All I do is take care of the boy. What I should be doing is working, not just staying at home. That is should be Jillian's job. She belongs here at home, not me. Bye. Leaving so soon? Ah, that's all right, my lord. I understand thou hast real man things to do. Uh, that man has a conflict within himself. Okay. Hmm. Don't happen to have a key to this door, do I? No, I don't have that key. How about a pick? Strange, that did not work. Okay, so we'll just have to keep this. It's a place to come back to when we know when we come back to it. Alrighty. Let's check the fellowship building one more time because my guess is now 9 o'clock, right? Still 8. So he's probably not going to show up for another close to an hour yet. Wherever he is. He's not here in bed. Nope. I forgot I wanted to put that back in our thing. I'll have to go over there real quick. Give me a sec, too. Have plenty of room now, I believe. All right. Betting this is the clerk's house. I think this may take us to the Lyceum. Let's see. It's taking us somewhere, that's for sure. We have another Sleeping Beauty. You see a scholarly looking man with a friendly expression. Name? Why, thou mayest call me Brian. Job? I am the head of the observatory here in Moonglow, he says proudly. This is where the telescope is kept. Telescope? I have it upstairs, of course. Thou art welcome to use it as often as thou wishest. In fact, I also have an orrery should thou wish desire to see that as well. Moonglow. Why, I love living here in Moonglow. I very much like the people here. Job? I am the head of the observatory. This is where I already read that, I think. Oh well. Orrery. The orrery? Why, it is a model of all the planets in our solar system, including the two moons of Britannia. The orrery moves to match the actual current orbits of our real system. I am very much excited, for shortly a very rare event will occur. People, hast thou spoken with my twin, Nelson? He heads the Lyceum. Or Elad? He surely thou should know us about the Mage Penumbra. Telescope? I have it upstairs, of course. Thou art you welcome to use it? I think I said that. Moonglow? He loves it here. Yeah. Event? Thou art referring to that which we in the business call the astronomical alignment. The planets and the moons with all the line will all line up perfectly. Something that happens only once every 800 years. Nelson, I do not see him as often as I would like, for we are so heavily involved with our work. He will be easy to recognize should thou see him. For people tell us we look identical. I don't see it, of course. For not only was he born with the brains, but also the handsome face. Elad? Poor lad. He sometimes joins me at night to view the heavens. He has been trying to leave Moonglow for many years. He likes the island, but is filled with wanderlust, he smiles. Numbra. Thou hast not heard? Why, 200 years she has put herself to sleep. Orrery? The orrery? Why, 'tis a model of all the planets in our solar system, including the two moons of Britannia. The orrery moves to match the actual current orbits of our real system. People, hast thou spoken with my twin Nelson? Yeah, I think we already did these. Yep, yep. Bye. Before thou dost depart, let me show you a few of my trinkets. Here is my moon. Now, where did it go? He says, switching his head. Well, it's around here somewhere. I can show thee at a later time. He seems more distraught than he is willing to convey. Sextant. He hands you a solid gold sextant. This has been passed on to each and every individual who has ever held a position at the observatory here in Moonglow. It is more than 200 years old, he beams at you in return. Tight. Where did that disappear to? He scratches his head, obviously puzzled. I do not, it's not disappeared. I constructed it from a book in my brother's library. Crystals? This, he says, presenting a collection of crystals that seem to be attached in some undeterminate fashion, is an aura reviewer. It permits one to see mine orrery here from Britannia and anywhere in Britannia. He seems thoughtful. I know thou cannot stay around here to see the alignment. Wouldst thou like to have this to view mine orrery and better predict the planet's position? Yes, I would. He smiles proudly. I thought thou wouldst. However, there is one problem. I still need one more crystal to completely finish the viewer. If thou wouldst visit the tavern, thou mightest find one on one of the merchants or travelers who sometimes provide me with crystals. If thou canst find another crystal, I'll be able to give thee the completed viewer. Goodbye again. Goodbye, my lord. Thou mayest use mine observatory as often as thou wishest. Awesome. Gonna head back to bed, I'm sure. So wherefore art this Ori? Well, let us make use of our spell there. Okay, so here it is, I guess. Very intriguing.
Go away!
Okay, so we've seen what we came to see here. I take it this is the way back to Moonglow proper, where is it? We shall see. You see a handsome, hard, muscular man who surprisingly bears a friendly smile on his face. Name? I am called Adam, my lord. Job? I travel the world in search of rare and unique items to sell at museums, and I am not a resident of Moonglow. Moonglow? I am afraid, my lord, I have met two people here other than Nelson. Travel? I have been all over Britannia, my lord. Nothing about the land frightens me any longer. He grins. The same is not true of some of the residents. Items? I have found many art artifacts. Many of the things thou hast seen in the music hall and the Lyceum have been brought to them by me. Crystal. Dost thou mean this? He pulls a small, clear, multifaceted gem from the pouch beneath his cloak. I just found this recently. I was hoping to sell it to the Lyceum, but alas, they have no use for it. Dost thou want it, perhaps? He asks hopefully. I will sell it to thee for 20 gold. Yes, I thank thee. People, I have come to know the bartender and the healer. Penny. She teaches close quarter combat. Everything I needed to know to survive on my journeys, I have learned from her. Residence? 'Twas a joke, my lord. Bartender? Fiercy is quite friendly, but he does love to gossip. He has offered me a deal whenever I might earn free meals if I can discover why Nelson's assistant reacts differently to some man or something like that. Not going to bother, but pray do not tell Fiercy that. Bueller. The lad is generous. In fact, he is letting me sleep in one of his spare beds while I'm in town. His only charge, he laughs, is the stories I tell him about mine adventures. Not a bad trade, if I say so myself, he shrugs. Nelson? He is in charge of the Lyceum. He loves trinkets and rarities. Bye. May thy days be always pleasant, my lord. We have something here. It looks like the healer's place. The man looks at you through smiling eyes. Name? Elad is my name, my lord. Job? I am the healer of the residents of this community. Residents? There are many people in Moonglow. My father once told me that this town was a much smaller during his time. In fact, he said that Moonglow used to be separate from the Lyceum. But I digress. Dost ask thou about the people? I know most of the residents here. Dost thou wish to know about the Lyceum, the observatory, the fellowship, the farmers, the trainer, or the tavern? Um, Community. Moonglow is mine home. I have lived here in this town my entire life, but I am weary of my life here. If only I did not have such strong ties. He sighs sadly. Lyceum. The Lyceum is run by a kind man named Nelson. His advisor is Zelda. Do not break any rules in her presence, or thou wilt receive a sharp reprimand. Jillian also studies there. She can teach thee many things, and do not worry about Mariah. She is harmless if thou wilt leave her be. Observatory? The head there is Brian. He is the twin of the head of the Lyceum. I like him, although he and his brother are both a little eccentric. Fellowship. I know these people least of all. The branch opened about 5 years ago under the direction of a man named Rankin. A few months ago, a clerk joined him. Her name is Berilena. Farmers. Cobalt owns the farm. He manages it with his younger brother Tolmac and their friend Moritz. I am not positive, but I believe Tolmac recently joined the fellowship. Trainer. The trainer's named Chad. I believe he specializes in swift, skillful fighting with knives and swords and such. See him if thou wishes to improve thy skills. Tavern. Fierce he tends the bar there. He is another good person whom should speak about. The townspeople, however, he enjoys gossip and may be a bit single-minded. Ties. My patient's here in Moonglow. Who will help him if I do not? Bye. Leaving so soon, my lord. Very well. Now may thy journeys be filled with prosperity. He sighs. Suddenly his face brightens. Wait, perhaps I could join thee. He quickly stands up, smiling. Then just as suddenly his shade falls. No, I cannot. For I have too many things to do, too many people to care for. Perhaps in the future. He forces a smile. I hope when we meet next, my lord, I will have the opportunity to join thee. Pleasant journeys, my friend. Oh, well, interesting. In another place. And don't see anything. I was able to pick it, but there's nothing in there worth keeping. Okay. Back here. So I came from up, so should I try to the right? There's a house here. Probably an inn. Yep. $49. Okay. What's this? The Ori crystal. Okay. Why, hello, Sir Dupre. Things fare well, I trust. Greetings, fair say. Yes, thank thee. Things are well. You see a man who gives you a friendly smile. Name? I'm Fiercey at thy service. He gives you a short bow. Job? I am the bartender here in Moonglow. Fellowship? Oh, thou refers to this, he asked, pointing to the medallion. Thou hast not heard of the fellowship? I strongly recommend that thou speakest with Rankin at Berlania at the branch office. The Fellowship has done many great things for our town. If not for all of Britannia, I am a firm believer in neorealism. Moonglow, thou wantest to know about someone in the town? Thou hast asked the right person. I know about all the residents here, Moonglow. I'll be happy to tell thee about any of the shopkeepers, scholars, or farmers who live here. Or art thou interested in the trainer, healer, or mage? Or fellowship leaders? Shopkeeper? He is a tailor. Lovely woman, that Carolyn. She minds the bar when I go to the fellowship meetings at night. But I would rather discuss Zelda. Scholars? Ah, the learned scholars I can tell thee are about Brian, Nelson, Zelda, and Jillian. Brian? Zelda's wonder too. All I know is that every time someone mentions Brian's name to Zelda, her serious expression changes to a smile. I have a deal for thee. Find out what their story is, and I will give thee and thy friends a free meal and drink. Thou canst find Brian at the observatory and Zelda at the Lyceum. Nelson? He is Brian's twin brother. Gillian? Wonderful scholar, every very nice woman, married to Ephraim. Ephraim? Friendly fellow, I like him. No one. No, we already did scholars, right? Farmers? Colmac and Cobalt are brothers. With Mort's help, they run a farm. Trainer? Chad is a friendly fellow, I like him. Healer? Friendly fellow, I like him. His name is Lad. I think it's all he says about people they're friendly. Mage? Ah, yes. Mariah is very nice. Leaders? Does not want to know about one in charge or his clerk? Charge. Franken is in charge of the entire local branch. If thou dost have any questions about the fellowship, he can answer them. Clerk? If thou hast any questions about the fellowship, Balin can answer them too. No one? Okay, so the scholars and leaders, he just leaves them to be said over again. Neorealism? That is the fundamental principle of the fellowship. It is composed of the triad of inner strength, which is strive for unity, trust thy brother, and one other one. Oh yes, thou didst get what thou deservest, or some such. Goodbye. Remember, tell them that thou defeated the friendly knave. All right. So what do we have down here? Looks like this is where the farms are. The man before you shyly looks away. Name? Mama Mort, sir. Job? I work with Cobalt for farming here. Cobalt? He is Tomac's older brother. I trust him. Tomac? That is not funny, he said. He blushes, not angrily turns away. That was horrible. How may I help thee, Lord? Stutter? What stutter? He turns to leave. Okay, let's do this. Tomac? The Tomac is my friend. I've known him for a long time. He just joined the fellowship. He wants me to join too. Here? Moonglow Fellowship. Tomac says they do many good things, and they would help me make friends more easily. Both thinks they're bad. I do not know what to do. To do. Moonglow? He points to the ground. That is here. He said that pretty clearly. Bye. Bye. You see a man with an unhappy look upon his face. Name? I am Cobalt of Moonglow. Job? I'm a farmer, my lord. I manage my farm with my help of Tomac, my brother, and Mort's our family friend. Tomac? He is my younger brother. Need I say more? I'm a little concerned about him, though, as I am used to his rebellious behavior. But recently he has joined a fellowship. That frightens me. They frighten me. I have tried to get him to come to see his senses, but he is too busy enjoying making me worry and listen. Also, he is trying to get Morse to join. I wish I could get him to reconsider. Moonglow? The city occupies the entire island, now including the Lyceum. Most of the residents still live south, though we are due east of Britain proper. Moors? My brother and I have known Moors for most of our lives. He's a very friendly when he is not too busy worrying about his stutter. Unfortunately, he listens to Tolmac too often. Fellowship? He spits on the ground. A bane to Britannia is what the fellowship is. They have some odd philosophy that teaches thee to forget who thou art and follow them. Process is dehumanizing, and I think it meshes poorly with the eight virtues. Not only that, but their leader here in Moonglow has persuaded Tolmac to join. Reconsider? Unfortunately, Tolmac will not listen to me. However, he might listen to thee, my lord. Perhaps thou couldst talk him into converting. I be very much appreciate that. Perhaps, he adds, thou could ask Morts not to join. Residence? Zelda, the clerk at the Lyceum, would be best person to talk to about Moonglow's residence, or rather, the bartender, though I do not know his name. I know that the observatory head and the Lyceum head are twins. I do not know that thou wants to talk to Rankin or Belena at the Fellowship. They are ill news to our once pleasant city. Stutter? Kubot looks down at the ground, shaking his head slowly. It started when he was 5 years old. He and my brother were wrestling in the back of a wagon driven by his parents. They hit a bump and he fell out and landed on his head. Ever since, he had had the stutter. The odd thing is, neither he nor Tomac remember the accident, or at least Tomac doth not. I cannot convince Morts to talk about it. Bye. Take care, my lord. You see a friendly-looking farmer. Name? I am called Tomac, my lord. Job? I help my brother tend our farm here in Moonglow. Fellowship? Rankin and Berliner would be the best ones to ask, my lord, but I can tell thee our main tenants. We believe strongly in neorealism, which is a form of optimistic outlook which may be reached through the triad of inner strength. I am hoping that soon I'll be able to hear the voice that comes with meeting one's higher potential. Also, my lord, the fellowship sponsors many feasts and festivals. I strongly recommend that thou ask Rankin about joining. Reconvert? Why would I want to do that? Did my brother request this? He has always had a problem with letting me make my own decisions. Nay, my lord, I will not abandon my beliefs. The fellowship has done too much for my life. Huh. So I guess I don't get to talk to him anymore. How may I help thee, my lord? Okay, so let's see if we can bring about. Don't join. There we go. Thou dost not think I should join? Cobalt does not want me to join either. I suppose I won't. It's thank thee. Bye. Bye-bye. Cobalt looks up. Yes, my lord. Okay, so Okay, so he's not saying anything new, even though I did get one to not join. Oh well. Doesn't look like there's anything more I can do here. It looks like the Lyceum is up in this direction, because this was the orrery. Let's go. Back the way we came a bit here. So this is where that was. Salutations, Iceman. Name? Tomias call me Nelson. Job? I'm the Lyceum head here in Moonglow, but he leans close to you. My assistant Zelda does most of the work. Moonglow? I love the island and its people, mostly its people. Zelda? She is an excellent assistant. The Lyceum has never performed better. However, she's a little too stern, I believe, and he leans in again. I think she is quite beautiful. People. Thou hast met my twin brother. He heads the observatory here. And meet somewhere in the Lyceum thou canst find Mariah. Sadly, she is not well up here. He touches his head. Lillian the Sage also studies here in the Lyceum. Good person to see about other residents of Moonglow, with the bartender and friendly knave. Piercy knows almost all of us here on the island. Yeah, he just knows how we're good people. Oh, well. Oh, and thou must not forget the legend of Penumbra. 'Twas 200 years she also cast on herself into a deep slumber. Now that I think on it, Asman, thou art the one she predicted would awaken her. Better hasten, my lord, he chuckles. Penumbra? Interested enough that no one has ever discovered how to enter her house. I believe those mysterious signs on the door require one to have specific items to place next to the plaques. Stern? She has put in an extraordinary amount of time and effort into ensuring the activities in this edifice happen smoothly, and, he adds, she takes it personally when they do not. Beautiful? Dost thou not agree? I am flushed whenever her fair presence passes by, but he holds up his index finger. I fear she does not share our mutual attraction, and she is far too serious for me to feel comfortable with a proposal. Twin? His name is Brian. People here mistake us for each other, but I think we are nothing alike. He got all the looks and the brains. They both think each other is a better one. Mariah. She was once an adept mage, but ever since the wizards began losing their faculties, she followed suit. Billion. She rarely has the time for visitors, but I know she takes on students every now and then. Fiercy. That one keeps up on his politics, or rather his gossip, he says, grinning. If thou dost wish to learn about a resident of Moonglow, visit him. Bye. Of course, thou mayest have free reign of the building, but first, she grins, let me show thee my... Okay, now he's got things he wants to do, too. The solid brass bookstand is matching overhang candelabra for late-night exploration in literature. I invented it myself. Bookmark? He's upset. I knew that someday it would be stolen, he says angrily. I should have known better than to show it to every person who comes to visit. The quill holder. The quill holder is gone, he exclaims, and what about... Oh, searching for something. The matching scroll opener is also missing. Book. It's not here. Oh well. Soda must have put it back on the shelf, he sighs. Nothing. Goodbye. Good day, my lord. Thou, of course, hast the free reign of the Lyceum. Oh, so this is where she comes to work, I guess. Okay. You see a woman who meets your gaze with an icy stare. Name? I am Zelda. Job? I am the advisor at the Lyceum. Nelson's feelings? Nelson? I never really thought about him, she shrugs. I suppose he is not a bad second best. I will try, she says, smiling. Lyceum? She rolls her eyes. The Lyceum is the building which thou dost stand. It is a great library designed to house a wealth of knowledge. Though the structure has changed a bit over the past 200 years, the essence of learning has not. Advisor? Yes, she says, my job is to manage and regulate the events in the Lyceum, and, she adds, provide assistance to the people here in Moonglow when they need it. Second best? Well, his brother Brian is quite attractive, I think. They look identical. Events. I am in charge of maintaining the reading areas and bringing in new books. In addition, I help organize special group sessions for Jillian's tutorials and set up educational entertainment programs. Townspeople, I have little time for this, she sighs. I only know the Lyceum head and his twin Brian. And all well. The trainer also studies here in the Lyceum. She looks up at the ceiling as if reading from an invisible overhead list. Thou dost already know about Penumbra. Mariah is here if thou wishes to know about a member of the fellowship. Ask the clerk there. Otherwise, he eyes you coldly. Let me refrain to my duties, and keep thy voice down. People are trying to read. Jillian, she is well behaved, also quiet and tidy. I believe she is an excellent scholar. If thou art going to seek her out, try not to overturn any shelves. Some new books have just arrived, and I have not finished placing all of them. Mariah, well, they say she used to be an adept mage, but all I see is a woman who wanders around complimenting the furniture. Thou mayest speak to her if thou wishes, but I doubt she will make much sense today, and do not disorganize the shelves while looking for her. Lyceum head, Nelson is a very competent, although a little eccentric. I do wish he would refrain from showing off his collection of trinkets to everyone who enters the building. It always makes such a commotion. Brian, her chilly expression melts away. Brian, she says, smiling, is very open-minded and idealistic. He knows the heavens quite well. She looks up to empathize. Heavens. I find him very attractive, but I do not know how to convey mine intentions. She turns away shyly. Unless, perchance, my lord, wilt thou aid me? She asks hopefully. Wilt thou agree to tell him for me, my lord? Yes. Thank thee, my lord, thank thee, she blushes. For thy kindness I will give thee this white potion I found at white straightening the basement. Penumbra? He shakes her head, muttering. Why doth he waste my time in this manner? Looking back up at you, she says. Penumbra is the sage who put herself to sleep 2 centuries ago. Rumor has it that only the Avatar can awake her. New books. Yes, they arrived not long ago, including the recently discharged copy of Demaria Inspector's work, The Avatar's Adventures. If thou canst avoid creating too much of a disturbance, I recommend it to thee. Avatar's Adventures? If I do tell thee this last thing, wilt thou depart from my return to my job? Yes. We discovered the tome in the lower depths of the basement. We have no way to account for the accuracy of its contents, but we have noticed many parallels between the events and in the work and the events in Britannia's recent history. The book is a copy of the Avatar's diary written about 200 years ago, during his most recent visit to Britannia. Of course, she smiles sardonically. It has been annotated by others. It was recently published, and now goodbye. You see your old friend Mariah. Name? Surely thou dost recognize thine old companion Mariah. Yes, dost thou not recognize me? She pauses, glaring at you. But who art thou? And where are my pastries? Job? He smiles. I have a very important job. I do. Are not those shelves lovely? So neat and orderly. She looks back at you. Be careful. The inkwells are full and the quills are sharp. She giggles. Shelves? Are they not the neatest, most orderly, and well-kept shelves thou hast ever seen? They do an excellent job of maintaining them. Inkwells? They are always so full and ready to use. They are quite good about keeping them filled and clean. Quills? Oh yes, they are quite sharp, always there when one needs to scribe a missive. They are an excellent they do an excellent job of having many ready at a moment's notice. They? Yes, they do. Her face turns sad, but I only sell. Sell? Yes, she agrees. I do sell. I even sell spells. In fact, I can even sell spells. But thou dost desire regents, thou art out of luck. For I only sell those during one of the 7 weekdays. Wouldst thou like to know which day? What a lovely set of books thou must have. I must have them, the item for thee to watch thy shelves. A potion, if thou wilt, a spell or a regent from me. I will sell thee a potion, for it is only a normal price. Which day? Why, today thou art in luck. Buy a spell. Which circle art thou interested in? I'll go for the sixths. And I'm going to try get whatever I can from the sixth spell level because I don't remember which ones I have. I might already have this one. Yep. I think I might have this one too. We'll try it again. Okay, so we got the sixth spell. Buy. Certainly come back anytime and buy. Okay, so let's look now in my spell book. And we are down to just 2 spells on that one too. Good. All right. I think we have talked to everybody in town worthwhile talking to. Just a regular guard. Okay. Except for the fellowship head, and here they are. The man greets you with a pleasant smile. Name? Thou mayest call me Rankin, nice man. Job? I am the new branch leader of the fellowship here in Moonglow. Fellowship? The fellowship is a wonderful organization that is open to all the people of Britannia. I have learned so much through the studying its philosophy. It has helped me to live my life to its fullest. Through the fellowship, I am able to achieve what I have set out to do in life, and I am a better person for having joined. If thou hast a free moment, I would be quite happy to discuss our philosophy with thee. Elizabeth and Abraham. Why, dear people, they were just here in order for me to give them a training session. I was just appointed branch leader. This is a new branch, thou knowest. Anyway, Elizabeth and Abraham left their travel all the way to the Gargoyle Island Serpent. Let's see. Berliner's accusation. Talk to me about it later, he whispered, gesturing suddenly toward Berlina, when she is not around. New. She grins, obviously embarrassed. I am sorry. For the branch opened here several years ago, it is the newest branch in Britannia. I still consider myself a new branch head here. Moonglow. Ah, yes, Moonglow. It is a pleasant town, if it's possible to find all sorts of people here. Philosophy? You immediately regret this. I know I am regretting it. People, I am sorry, I prefer not to gossip. Bye. Life guide. Okay, so I could sit around and talk to him about her, but I think it only leads to mischief. Now I want to go get my little orrery. Salutations, my lord, Byron said. Have crystal. Thou hast a crystal? Excellent. He takes a crystal from you and you got the adventure and begins attaching it to his war reviewer. Shortly he is finished. Want crystal? Use it well, my lord. He gives you the contraption. Zelda's feelings? Oh, I see. He shrugs. I never really thought about my brother's assistance in such a matter. That is too bad. For my time permits nothing but mine observations. Ah, well. What else can I help thee with? Bye. Ooh, shut down. Shut down. Ooh, poor girl. I will have to break the bad news to her. I think it's over here. if I'm not mistaken, she was up here in this room. She looks down for a moment. I thought as much, she says as her head and tears are visible in her eyes. I thank thee for trying. I wonder if she can. Okay, well, looks like you've given her the answers you could. And now that I have figured that situation out, can I share it with the barkeep? I have to wake him up again, aren't I? Yippers. Hast thou discovered the reason for Zelda's moods? Yes. Excellent. I'll count Stemmy while I get thy refreshments. As he prepares your meal, you tell him what you know about Zelda and Brian. Bye. Remember, tell them that thou hast aided the friendly knave. So what do we have now? Okay, some more food. I don't think we need it at the moment, but I can go put it in our stash. And I have a feeling that we're going to need to come back here at some point. That whole two-number thing we'll have to handle at some point. It looks like we've got a date with saving her. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move a thing over here and mark it to recall. One, two, three, 4, 5. Now there's 8 of us. I don't see it in these bags. Did they go to the next guy in line? Doesn't look like it. Maybe that's all, though. Oh, it's enough, and if I happen to find it later somewhere when I'm looking through, I will. I'm not going to make a big deal of it, but at least at this point, I think that is enough for us in this video. At the beginning of this video, we made our way all the way down to Serpent's Hold. We joined the Fellowship, and then we followed Elizabeth and Abraham all the way out to Moonglow here, met all the people in Moonglow. And aside from going in here and doing whatever quest we have to do with regards to these two people in the Fellowship not trusting one another, I think we're pretty much ready to move on to the next town, which is going to be Terrafin. But we will be doing that in our next video. So for the Iceman, I'm saying so long, farewell. Avita saying good night. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Join us next time.